Hi, my name is Martin.
And I'm Tiffany.
We are creators with a true passion for filming.
And photography. Today's topic we're going to be discussing comes from Dan in regards to Martin's personal transformation after his motorcycle accident and discussing his experience and how Jiu Jitsu played an important role in his new life.
Good question, Dan. So, welcome to our channel. And for the people who don't know, last year in August 5th, 2019, I got into a major motorcycle accident in a freeway, a 91 freeway in Riverside, California. That accident changed my life forever. It was a very unique experience, I would say. When you deal with a situation like that, it is very difficult to adapt after after the accident happens. Yeah, I come with a background with CrossFit, doing a lot of activity, and very active life, exercising and competitions and doing mountain bike and any single activities you can imagine. Most of the time I was doing something on the weekends, and during the week obviously I was training. So with the accident, everything completely changed. I have to pretty much go in and how do you say that? You have to
Relearn?
not just relearn. You have to have your necessities, your basic necessities. You have dependency on people. I never had that in my life. I always be very independent when it comes to that, anything in life. So this accident, obviously, it was a completely new experience for me. And on that moment, I can even go to a restroom, right? I can even take a shower. I can even get up properly. If I lay down flat, I can even sleep on that. I have to be sleeping kind of like sitting down. It was so many changes happening at the same time. And obviously, I am very thankful that every time that I have that experience, I have my wife, I got you next to me, helping me, right, to be able to do everything. And that was incredible for me. That was a very unique experience that brought us together more. Um, Going back to your question, uh, with the accident, I was not able to do any kind of exercise, right? I got under surgery for my shoulder, and my hips they still sideways. They're not normal like everybody else. And anything on my right side have a very limited motion and painful. It was difficult. So anything the exercise required, it was very hard. It was very difficult. Frustrated me to the peak because I was not able to do anything, right? So I lost a lot of motivation on me to keep having an active life. So obviously you start getting weight, you start dealing with all this trouble that I still dealing with it. But I need to find something new that I can do if life happens, right? So fitness, it was out of my reach at that point. I was not able to live. I was not able to do anything. So I need to relearn how I can utilize my body with the limitations that I have. And that was something scary at the same time. It was something new. It was something that I was not on my comfort zone anymore. And pretty much I have to adjust and adapt on the fly because there was no warning. It was a time on all over the California, and especially right here in our area, that it was, people women that being attacked. So I remember I was thinking, God, if I have to defend my wife or defend my kids or something happened, I'm kind of like limited. I don't know how to react now. I have some formal training with the Marine Corps, and I have some you know, martial arts in the past, really basic, but I never stick with it for being like confidence that I can do it with the limitations that I have. I'm pretty sure that I cannot do anything. I'll be in the floor pretty much, you know, fighting for my life and maybe surviving. It would be very hard for me to do anything. So I started having all these concerns and all these crazy thoughts at that point. I'm kind of like, well, you know, I cannot do anything. So I had surgery, and 2 months right after the surgery, I was trying to become after. I was trying to figure it out what I need to do it right. Obviously, fitness at that point it was out of the window because it was hard. I tried it, and it was like, oh my god, this is not ideal. Then the doctor obviously was telling me, nope, you know, you have to do a therapy, and maybe in 6 months you might be after surgery, you might be able to do something. You will never be the same. You know, it will never go back to your normal life. You know, and he kind of much tell me the fitness it was not on my book anymore, right? That I have to find something else. You know, it don't require any kind of activity or strength on my body, especially on the arms, right, on the shoulders. Man, that was hard. That was something that I remember. I want to cry, and I refuse, man. I refuse to go in and continue to live my life like that. And I was like, nope, this is not gonna happen. I need to find something that will allow me to get back on it. So, I have a friend that I always observe on Facebook, and he was doing Jiu Jitsu, right? He'd been doing Jiu Jitsu martial arts for a couple of years. So he was competing, and he got some medals. And I remember I comment to him, you know, I messaged him, I probably messaged and said, hey, dude, you know, I kind of want to figure out what I can do Jiu-Jitsu. I would like to go on and learn. So I kind of asked some basic questions, and I started doing my own research, right, with the information he gave me to me. I look at his school that he was going. I looked to other schools. But then I was trying to figure it out. I said, you know what? I was being big to support our local businesses, but I also want to find the right school that will fit me, right? Because I was with a lot of limitations, and I don't even know if instructors that were going to be able to teach me or help me to get on it, right? So I remember I'm searching on the internet, and I found Sector Jiu-Jitsu in Corona, and I noticed that they have a video of the drones. It's a drone. It's kind of like a commercial. So I was like, oh man, they're into doing their commercials and stuff like that with professionals. So I was thinking about business at the same time, and I'm thinking about, you know, that they're very good school. It looked nice, you know, with the information that I found on the internet. So I kind of like, you know, make a decision at that point. Say, okay, well, you know, we're gonna go there. Let me figure it out what I need to do. I remember I called my first contact. It was Albert. So I kind of talked to Albert. I don't know his background, but I tell him what I was going through, and he encouraged me to join. You know, to come to the first class was going to be free, and to give it a try to Jiu-Jitsu. So I was kind of surprised, because in the beginning I believed that it was something like they were going to shut me down in the beginning, because I have just got surgery on the shoulder and I don't have pretty much no mobility. I have, you know, my range of motion at that point, it was kind of like this. I can't even go like parallel over my head, nothing like that. I cannot do a push-up. I cannot hold my weight. It was a lot of stuff that I cannot do. So I was sold at that point, and I was like, okay. I get off the phone, and I kind of like remember talking to my wife, and then kind of tell her, hey, you know what, you should try it too. And she never been big into it, that kind of stuff, you know, anything related with aggression or fighting and stuff like that. She's not. She's a very peaceful person. So she might have maybe the wrong idea how it was, or she don't have enough information on how the whole jiu-jitsu runs, right? So I asked her, I said, hey, you know what, will you go with me? I don't want to go alone. I kind of want you. It would be great if you can join the class, and we can do this together if you want to, but don't feel any pressure. You don't want to do it, it's fine. I need to find something that it will fire my soul, that it will help me to get back to how I was in physical activity. So I need to break all these fears that I have at that point. I remember we made the appointment. That day came in. I make it for 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. And we go to school. And the person that we saw and greeted us, it was Spencer. He is the co-owner of Jiu Jitsu, Sector Jiu Jitsu in Corona. So he greeted us, he gives us, kind of paperwork that you gotta fill in, and they give you some gis to go in and fed and change. I remember I changed and I have a lot of questions on my head. I have a lot of stuff going over my head. And I started watching how he was teaching kids, because the first class they have at 5 o'clock is for kids. So I was watching it, and man, I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, they're so amazing. He's amazing. Spencer is great working with kids. Lots, patience, and super fun for the kids, and incredible. They were doing games and all these activities, right, going on, and I'm like, they're learning a new skill that is going to be valuable for their life, but also it's super fun. And everybody that I saw, the people helping him, and the parents, it was like a very, very strong feeling, a very strong community. So I like it. And I remember the first thought of my heart, it was like, this is going to be home. I was sold out just because the kids. So I remember I look at Tiffany and say, okay, well, let's do this. We start doing the warm-up, and man, I was dying on the warm-up. I guess I can't even breathe, right, properly. I have to take a lot of breaks. Mobility-wise, I see people doing, basic stuff, right? Hip skate, technical stand-ups. I cannot do technical stand-up at all. My balance, literally, either on the left side that I can try to do a technical stand-up, my legs, I will not be mobile enough, and I don't have the balance. With the accident, I have problems with balancing. I will lose balance easy. So I remember I start feeling a little frustrated, but I noticed that everybody was very welcoming. Spencer, it was amazing in the class. He noticed immediately right away. He saw all the limitations that I have, and he started telling me stuff that I was able to do without risking having a re-injury on my shoulder or having any kind of fears or problems on my head that I was creating by myself because of the fear. So he was, guiding me and taking the time. Everybody was crazy support, right? During the entire class. Short story, I finished the class, and I was completely dead, right? Like I still do. It's a lot of cardio. I realized the jiu-jitsu is the cardio that we have is a completely different cardio than having CrossFit or any kind of cardio that you do exercising, right? So I say, well, for sure, and soaking wet and super sweaty. I know I'm gonna get an excellent workout on this, and I'm gonna do it. So my first question, it was like, did my wife want to go in and be able to do this? And I was praying, Lord, and said, well, I hope that she do it with me, right? That's something that we can do together. Mm-hmm. So I remember I kind of going and be like, hey, so what do you think, babe? Do you like it? How do you feel with the class?
Yeah, so we ended up both signing up that day.
Mm-hmm. We both did. Mm-hmm. Obviously, when I joined Jiu Jitsu, my body was not okay. Like I mentioned in the beginning, I cannot balance myself. If I lean forward or I lean backward, I will lose balance like crazy. I get dizzy. I don't mention all that in the beginning, but I kind of keep it for myself. If I get really worked out because I was moving too much, I would get extremely dizzy, and like my breathing was not okay. But I just literally, when I need it, I sit down. I compose myself, I breathe, and I keep working on it. And during the sparring, I remember they were sparring, and they were so careful with me, right? How they want to roll, and they were doing exercises with me. They were not actually rolling; they were exercising. They were doing the movement. Okay, so this is how you defend. Everybody was helping me, right, during the rolls. And I remember they were scared to touch me on my right side because the accident, right, the surgery. But I will tell them in the beginning. I say, hey, no, you know what? Can you stretch it a little bit? Help me. I will let you know when I'm in so much pain. So every single one, I will start working with my arm and slowly moving it. Man, in PT, I hate PT. And Tiffany, I don't like to go to PT. It was something that I don't like it. It was uncomfortable. It's painful. It was solitude at his maximus, right? After the accident, I don't want to be alone, right? You're on a motorcycle and you see yourself in the middle of the freeway, in the opposite side of the freeway, strangers, you're alone, and you're bleeding, you're in pain, cannot move. I cannot move one side of my body. I cannot feel it properly, and it was solitude, right? I get to a hospital and alone, and having all these people poking me with needles, putting ABs. People started putting staples, try to close the bleeding. It was a mess. So solitude for me now it is something that I'm not comfortable yet. I'm working on it, right, to get back to what I was, and be able to be okay when being alone for periods of times. So in this special transition that I was making to get back to exercising, I don't want to do it alone. And I know I was putting a lot of pressure on Tiffany at that point because, she had to give me all the support. She was really giving me all the support at home. So now in Jiu Jitsu, carrying me around, that's kind of hard. But I think so they use something different in a sector, right? It's a family thing.
Mm-hmm. Right. So when we joined Sector Jiu Jitsu, I felt that we gained a whole community, right? So everyone was familiar with Martin's motorcycle accident, so they were always careful when they were training with him. And not only that, we had a whole community that was following up with him weekly, really seeing how he was progressing, really checking in on him, helping him kind of measure his pain, what was sore the next day, how's his mobility today, and just really track that progress. So like he said, it wasn't just me anymore, really supporting him on his journey for recovery, basically. And so I think that really helped out a lot, just him even really feeling that support and knowing that he wasn't alone. Like, he had all these people that were helping him with his immobility issues and really giving him the patience that he needed, so he wasn't getting frustrated at himself. And that's what's really good about people who do train jiu-jitsu. They are really, really patient, and I think it's because along their journey, a lot of people were patient with them and really helping them improve. So they're also willing to help Martin improve with his training, with his injuries, and just everything. And I think that's what made the difference, was that he hated physical therapy, but with the new outlet of jiu-jitsu, it really helped him to gain mobility, helped him with his fitness, helped him with his cardio, just all around. And not only that, for the members, we also get to know them on a personal level. Mm-hmm. So that's why we consider them family.
Yep, for sure. And today I can say that every single member at Sector, I am truly thankful for everyone. It is special. It makes me emotional, right? Starting for the owners of the company, right? Starting for Sean in Chino HQ, starting with Spencer, starting with, my first contact, right? Albert, he was the one contacting me, still teaching, right? On the weekends or whatever, in the mornings. They were incredible, all of them. And like I said, it's a family. And everybody, they want to go in and decide to try jiu-jitsu, go for it. It will change your life forever. It's a very unique experience. Now I can say something, right? In the beginning, I don't know how I was going to be, right? See, I would be normal again. But I can tell you this today. I'm probably 90 to 95% between that range. Back on mobility. Okay? Strength around 90. And every single day that we go, we learn something. Every day. It is incredible. So if you decide to make that step forward, I will say go all the way. You will never regret it. It will change your life forever. For sure. Yep. It changed ours.
Definitely.
Yep. So Jiu-Jitsu for me, it does play a huge role. It's a necessity. It's something I need to do, and I see myself doing it for as long as I am alive. And this is not a 100-meter sprint. This is gonna be a 10-20 years run that slowly be progressing, learning, adapting, and recognizing all this with the guidance that we have is something that it doesn't have a value. It's incredible. Not just that, right? In my family, I create discipline, right? My kids are doing jiu-jitsu. They're learning a new discipline. They're learning everything about being respectful, about space, anything that they need, and also be able to have a skill that one day they can save their life. So that's alone is perfect. It's priceless. So yeah.
Well, we hope that answers your questions that you had for Martine. And if anyone has any additional questions, be sure to comment below. And I hope you guys subscribe to our channel. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So yeah, leave us a comment, like this video, and then we'll see you until next time.